All right, everyone, welcome back to Pharmacist on Call. This is your 1 hour forum. Your doctors are busy, your pharmacists are busy, they don't have time. For this hour, I do. So we're going to get right back into your calls. We've got Sherman on line 2. Sherman, welcome to Pharmacist on Call. How may we help you?
Yes, I can. Are you aware of articles written in the Society of Gastroenterology that those stomach medications can cause kidney problems, and do you consult patients who take those prescription stomach medications, not Zantac and the like, that if you got kidney problems, you should not take those kind of medications? Thank you.
Okay, sir. Hello? Okay. All right, so I'm assuming he's talking about the proton pump inhibitors, which are the medication I was talking about many of my water patients are coming off of. Actually, no, I have not read that article. And in terms of the PPIs, not one of the things that I counsel on, but I will look into that and see what the incidence is. If the incidence is high, then yes, I will change my practice right now and start educating people on that. Most people I try to steer away from them anyway in general, with the water and making sure that they're eating correctly. So if you have acid reflux out there, when you eat your last meal, make sure you're sitting up at least 2 hours, so that your food can completely digest. Because if you don't, what happens is as you eat and you lay down, you raise the acid coming up your esophagus. So sit up 2 hours after eating, drink plenty of alkaline water. But sir, great question, great point. And I will look into it, but if the research shows that there's a high incidence of that, generally on low incidence side effects, I don't counsel on just the major ones, then, certainly I will change my practice model and begin counseling on those. But thank you for that call. That was very good. All right, line 3, we've got Joe. Joe, welcome to Pharmacist on Call. How may we help you?
Yes. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm just wondering that I'm getting older and have a lot of gas.
Yes, sir.
And acid reflux, so I'm wondering, I take a Dilexit. And I'm just wondering, what causes that gas, foul gas?
Okay. Are you eating a lot of red meat?
Not a lot.
Okay. Dairy products?
Yes.
Cheese? Yeah, I would think that those would be your major causes. Are you African American?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and so one of the things that we have to factor in is your genetics. In terms of breaking down dairy products, there are certain ethnic groups that just have deficiencies of the lactase enzyme to break down dairy products. So African Americans, I believe Asians and Latinos are just going to be kind of tough digesting the dairy products. In fact, some naturalists will encourage you to drink goat's milk or eat goat cheese because they're easier to break down, more so than cow's milk dairy.
Well, let me ask you this then. I've listened to you talking about that water, too. Is that water good, and will it clear up this gas? And maybe the acid reflux? I heard you speaking of that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, the acid reflux. And you have to remember what the water also does is where you can benefit is you probably have a lot of bacteria in your gut, especially with the dairy products that you eat. This high pH water will create an environment where you can start to kill off some of that bacteria that live and thrive on that acidic environment. So that's the other piece. Neutralizes the acid, but also kills bacteria and everything else that thrives in an acidic environment. So yes, I think you can stand to benefit just from the testimonial of many of my water customers.
Okay. How much is that water?
It's $3.09 per gallon. When you bring that gallon jug back for a refill, then it goes down to $2.
Okay, great. I'm going to come by there tomorrow and get something then.
Okay, all right. We'll see you then.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, line 4, we've got Thelma. Welcome to Pharmacist on Call. How may we help you?
Hello, Dr. Pruitt. How are you this evening?
Good. How are you?
Great. And I just want to say there's no chance that will be your last show. Don't even voice such a thing. I wanted to ask you, what are some of the benefits of the beetroot juice, and if there are any adverse side effects at all?
Okay. All right, great question. I was going to talk about it a little later. All right, thank you, Sam. We've got beetroot juice here. The caller just called in and asked about. So it's probably my number 2 seller to the Kangen water. So we move a lot of this. What this does is it lowers your blood pressure very quickly. I would say within 30 minutes, it helps lower your blood sugar. A number of my patients have stated that their A1Cs have gone down as well as their fasting blood sugars. It's good for helping to heal your liver and your kidneys. Those of you ladies, if you have low iron, suffering from anemia, a very rich source of iron. I mean, this thing has about 20 plus health benefits. I mainly only focus on the 2 because you don't have time to listen to all that spill. But diabetes and blood pressure are the 2 major ones that this is good for. So, I mean, how does it lower the blood pressure? It's full of what we call organic nitrates. And what nitrates do is they are vasodilators. They open up the blood vessels. So if you have a heart that's trying to pump blood into a vein or an artery that is so small, it has to raise its pressure to pump against the small surface. But once you open it up, the blood pressure goes down because now the heart has to work less to get all of that blood to where it needs to go. So great for lowering blood pressure. In fact, I had 2 gentlemen who had to do their TDOT test, well, the Department of Transportation test, and they could not pass them, even though they were on blood pressure medications. So they both actually took a shot of this 30 minutes before their test, and they both passed them. Blood pressures went down to normal for the first time. So those were my 2 guinea pigs to see that this stuff really does work. And certainly I'm teaming with patients now who I can barely keep this stuff on the shelf, and I order like 20 bottles at a time. But easily my number 2 seller. In terms of those of you who are diabetics, what it does is it heals the pancreas. Diabetes is pancreatic insufficiency. So it means your pancreas is not kicking out enough insulin on its own. So this stimulates it to heal and to do just that. I'm sure it also increases insulin sensitivity as well, but I do know your blood sugars are going to go down with this. So the dose on this, I tell most people to do like a capful, like a shot in the morning, first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, and then you can take your medicine and all that stuff afterwards. And then just watch your numbers go down. Many people tell their doctors what they're doing. The doctors poo-poo it, and I don't blame them because they're probably on the course of losing some patients. So yeah, beetroot juice, make sure you stop in and get this if you want a natural source for blood pressure and diabetes. All right, everyone, stay right there. Call in. We are up on the cusp of another break.